happening in a week.
I'll probably have finished all of 15 seasons of VR by then.
Something even bigger than your stupid medical shows.
Lost in Space,
Oh, I hate
Chapter
you
2.
guys.
Oh, yeah, I'll be watching that.
I'm going home.
Oh, you're talking about Infinity War, aren't you? The 10-year culmination of all things Marvel cinema, except for the films they don't talk about.
We don't talk about that one.
What's that? Which ones are they talking about?
Like Fantastic Four.
Blade.
Oh, yeah, those.
I forgot you're the Blade Crusader.
Apologist.
I am the Blade apologist.
The Blade. I like Blade.
I do too. The TV series was awful.
Wasn't it like one of them FX shows?
Spike.
It was-
Thank you
yeah,
very
oh,
much.
yeah.
That was
Sorry.
how. That was Spike first. Like it was their first original show, and it worked out real well for them. They figured out real quickly that Bar Rescue was going to be a better hit than Blade.
It reminded me of them
Like
old shows you used to
cheaper.
see, like would come on late at night here in Louisville. I can't remember what channel they were on, but it was like
You remember the Action Pack?
I think that might be what I'm thinking of. There was one was like a vampire show where he like kept cow's blood and I don't know, like wine jars or something.
Oh, what was that called?
Was that Forever Night?
Yeah,
Yes,
Forever Night.
yes.
Yeah.
It was.
Obscure TV show. I guess Aaron knows what it is.
But the Action Pack was the new Knight Rider. It was the new BJ and the Bandit, or BJ and the Bear. I'm sorry. It was Hercules Legendary Adventures, and there was another one. And then the only thing that really survived was Hercules. Sorry, we got off on a real great tangent. Infinity War. Let's see, Aaron. Tell us some great things about Infinity War. Go ahead and lead us off with this topic since you're the captain of all things Marvel.
I've been reading a lot of Thanos books. I just ordered a bunch of them. I just got done reading Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh,
and
gosh, he's going for it.
Oh, hang on. Wait a second. Hold on. Hang on. We got something here. Let me find it. Sorry, I got off.
No, keep going, Aaron. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was reading Infinity Gauntlet, and it's really good. And just a slight spoiler in the opening pages, bad stuff happens to Hawkeye. So I'm wondering if that's why he hasn't been on any of the movie posters.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, I know.
They did say
Don't
that
say
they were
that.
going to it was going to shock people in the first.
No, they said that he's never mind. The director, one of the directors said that Hawkeye's is a long, like his thing's a long drawn out thing. There's a point to it, but I mean they could be doing that, and like it might just open up with Hawkeye just head exploding or something like that.
"Bah, give me the stone."
Yeah, and it sounds like all the theories I had a couple weeks ago have all been shot down recently.
Good.
So I'm
Good,
kind of bummed. Thanks.
fantastic. Just like your Star Wars theories.
Yeah, we did good on the
so,
Star Wars theories. The Star Wars
Like
theories are awesome.
Peter Dinklage is apparently voicing one of Thanos' henchmen. So he's probably not playing Pip the Troll. They're real coy when asked about Silver Surfer, saying, "Oh, I don't think we own that character."
And Adam
so they didn't
Warlock's
say.
not going to be in it.
Well, they just said he doesn't have the soul gem. So I'm thinking, well, there's probably not a point to him then being in it. So I don't know. So
but
we'll see. They could be lying.
Let me tell you about the best thing that happened about Infinity War this week. Somebody online released if the Avengers Infinity War was made in the 90s, and it gives you a listing of all the actors from the 90s that would play the parts. And I have to say, it's one of the most amazing things I've seen on the internet in a while. I will real quick run through it. So it's just not me listing out stuff. Feel free to throw in a comment when I get to it. Captain America, Brad Pitt. Winter Soldier, John Stamos. Oh my gosh, John Stamos as the Winter Soldier. That's fantastic. Falcon is Eddie Murphy. Scarlet Witch, Alicia Silverstone. Hawkeye, Christian Slater. Matthew Broderick as Ant-Man. Cuba Gooding Jr. as War Machine. Ethan Hawke as Vision. Denzel Washington as Black Panther. That's awesome. Mila Jovovich as Black Widow. Leonardo DiCaprio, Spider-Man. Tom Cruise as Iron Man. That might be my worst one, I think, of all of them.
I don't know.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah.
Dolph Lundgren as Thor. David Duchovny as the Incredible Hulk. Keanu Reeves as Doctor Strange. Keith David as Nick Fury. I love that. Gary Oldman as Loki. Ron Perlman as Thor. Brendan
Thanos.
Fraser.
Ron Perlman.
Thanos, my bad. Right. Ron Perlman as Thanos. Brendan Fraser as Star-Lord. Halle Berry as Gamora. Demi Moore as Nebula. Joe Pesci as Rocket Raccoon. Arnold Schwarzenegger as Drax. And Winona Ryder as Mantis. I have to say, that is a fantastic list.
Somebody put some serious some serious time into this list because and just thinking of how they all line up
And
because
the image is great. It's got like the '90s flair to it and everything. It's pretty much perfect.
It's very Saved by the Bellish.
There is only one that I would change out.
Okay,
Hear me out.
Let's do this. Let's do this. First off, your favorite one around the room, Brian.
Joe Pesci, Rocket Raccoon.
Joe Pesci's Rocket Raccoon.
I mean, it's just it's going to be it's going to be a cousin Vinny Raccoon. That's what
You
I
could
like
see
about
him going like, "Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not a trash panda or whatever."
Yeah.
All right, Charlie.
Matthew Broderick as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense for the 90s casting.
That's good. That's good. John.
David Duchovny as a Hulk.
Yeah. I like that one. There are so many good ones. Aaron.
Probably Dolph Lundgren as Thor would be funny.
Dad, I've come back in time to get you.
Doing Sharknado. Dodd. There's a couple of them that I really like. I like Christian Slater as Hawkeye because Christian Slater in the 90s was that guy. But I have to say that my favorite is Brendan Fraser as Star-Lord.
That is a good one, too.
Oh gosh,
We can fight about Brendan Fraser in a moment,
makes me
John.
throw up.
You shut your mouth. Brendan Fraser was amazing in The Mummy.
George of the Jungle.
We had a
Amazing in The Mummy.
we had a virtual fist fight on the texting the other day over this.
Aaron, I feel like for some reason we used to watch The Mummy like once a week.
Really? I've never been a big fan of the Mummy.
What?
What is this?
I don't think we
Mandela
were
effect
living
about the
together.
Mummy?
Yeah, I think I'd moved out by
Brothers
then.
have turned against each other.
Maybe it was Doug and I. Maybe we did.
Probably.
But there's also that great episode of Scrubs where Brendan Fraser plays Dr. Cox's brother-in-law, and there's the episode, spoiler alert for all the Scrubs people, where Brendan Fraser dies. And it's such a sad episode, but man, Brendan Fraser is amazing. Now, regular present day Brendan Fraser we won't speak of because he's
had some issues.
He's fallen into pieces, for lack of better words. But back in the 90s, go watch The Mummy again, John. Okay? I know you've got it on DVD. Go watch it again.
You know, I actually
And
found
he-
it the other day on
he
DVD over here in the
is-
storage room.
He's very similar to Star-Lord in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Very cocky, very arrogant, very like in your face, very try to woo the ladies. It's great. Sorry. That's my Brendan Fraser rant, John. I'm sorry. You can now bash Brendan Fraser.
I don't even know where to start.
Go ahead.
I just don't.
Is it because of Encino Man?
No, Encino Man is the least of your worries when it comes to Brendan Fraser. I just don't. He's just not that great an actor. I mean, at all. I mean, to me, I don't want to be rude. I mean, you know,
You don't.
Wow.
You kind of
well,
passed that
maybe.
part.
I was just saying somebody's a bad
he's the
actor.
worst
Doesn't
person ever.
I
I
didn't
don't
say that. I'm not saying that. There's plenty of people worse than him.
way out
Hey, no offense here, but let me give you something to be offended about.
No, I think the thing that turned me against Brandon Fraser was his cameo appearance in G.I. Joe. I think that was. I can't get past that.
Okay, you're right. I take it back. You're
Okay.
Now that you brought up that point, I don't have a rebuttal.
All I have to say is cameo in G.I. Joe, where he drives up on a 4-wheeler and he
No.
watches guys fight, and all he does is go, "Ugh,
No.
oh, this one."
This,
I can't
this is
remember.
why. This is why I hate. Now that you brought this up, I hate it. I'm with you now. Brendan Fraser. I am a Duke apologist. Okay, I love Duke in GI Joe.
my
I was one of those people. But when they cast Channing Tatum as Duke, okay, and they had him in the GI Joe movie, and it was one of those let's just have a love affair with this character, and they had that fight scene, and he's fighting Snake Eyes, and nobody can touch Snake Eyes, but Duke takes him down, and Brendan Fraser's like, look at that Duke right there. I'm like,
That's what I'm talking about. It was
You're right.
terrible.
You're right. You're right, John.
Because he's like, they keep flashing back to him like he was somebody important, and
Like he was like a trainer
he was
Joe
like,
or something.
he's like, oh yeah, sitting on top of
He was
four-wheeler.
Flint.
He was not Flint.
He was Flint.
Oh,
He wore a beret. He was
was
Flint.
maybe he was Falcon.
No, Falcon's Duke's half little brother.
Well, maybe that's who he was. That's why he was so hot to trot about Duke beating him. That's pretty much what I did.
All right, so back to the list of 90s Avengers. Now this is the point where we get to argue with one another. We're going to go around the room real quick, and we're going to discuss our least favorite of the casting decisions that this random person made up. John, let's start with you. I mean, we've already discussed it.
Now, are we talking minus Brandon Fraser?
Yeah,
minus and it's Brendan Fraser, not Brandon Fraser. Okay, jeez Louise, I'm getting back into defending him now.
Okay,
We've moved far enough from G.I. Joe.
We just flipped switches here. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with. I think the worst one that I see on this list is I can't just because I don't like him as an actor either. I just say I don't care. As maybe it's okay. Now hang on. Let's
dare say John Stamos.
I'm gonna say John Stamos.
Okay.
Are we talking the parameters of what they were in the 90s,
Yes.
or are we talking about what they are now?
What they were in the 90s.
Because if we're talking about what they were in the 90s, then I have to agree with you. Yes, Brandon Fraser probably would be the best pick for Star-Lord.
Right.
Until he made G.I. Joe.
Right.
Which was not in the 90s anymore.
John, get off of Brendan Fraser.
Okay. Well, anyway. So I would say that for me here, the one that I would not have is I would have to throw out Keanu Reeves as Doctor Strange. I just don't see it. Keanu Reeves is all right. I mean, he John Wick is great movies. I mean, there's no problem with that.
But Bill and Ted as Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That's basically all we had of him in the 90s.
No, you had Point Blank.
Point Break.
Point Break.
Point
whatever.
Break.
But
Sorry,
still,
I
got
was
my,
he- was
I am an FBI agent. Dormammu, I have come to bargain.
That's a good point. That's a solid
And
point.
then Yumandi's like Bill. He's like, that'd been great. Awesome.
The ancient one is George Carlin.
He was in Point Break with Brendan Fraser. That'd been awesome. Where's Patrick Swayze on this list?
Who's Patrick Swayze going to be?
That's where I'm.
Well, okay.
Okay.
Hang on. Back to mine.
Yes.
Is
It's a solid.
Keanu Reeves, who has turned into a really cool. I mean, even I like Constantine. I mean, and that wasn't like the world's greatest movie. I like Johnny Mnemonic. I like that movie. That was good.
I like Johnny Tsunami.
I wasn't
Disney
even
Channel special.
I wasn't even like a real hardcore hater of that one he was in with Al Pacino, The Devil's Advocate. Liked it. It was all right. But only thing I see with him from the 90s, and of course, Bill and Ted's 80s movie. But,
And by the way, they are having a sequel coming
which
out.
looks like it's going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
But I don't see Doctor Strange as being that 90s surfer dude boy that he kind of portrayed in a lot of his movies in the 90s. And that's not taking anything because John Wick, like I said, he's gruesome in that, and it's a really deep.
a good
The
movie.
two of them are good, and he's done a lot of good stuff. But I just don't see him as Doctor Strange. There had to have been somebody else that could have Pyres Booth. They could have Pyres Booth play. Where's Pyres Booth on this list?
All right, Charlie.
Anyway, I'm ranting.
Okay, so
That's good. That was good, John. I like it.
Thank you.
You backed it up. Solid points.
Dolph Lundgren is Thor.
I'm
not a fan of this because there are actually two actors that could have done a great job in the 90s of playing Thor.
All right.
One being Patrick Swayze. I mean, where else would you? I mean, maybe Hawkeye, but also number two, Val Kilmer. Why isn't Val Kilmer on this list?
Oh,
and
where
he would
is
have been
Val Kilmer?
He would have been a good Thor as well.
I'm with you there.
See, I think he could have been a good Hawkeye.
True.
Oh, hey,
I
but
think he could have
Christian
played that.
Slater had just come off of Robin Hood, where he was he played
Will Scarlet.
He was Will Scarlet.
O'Hara.
Oh,
No, that's
but-
Men in Tights.
He would have been. I don't know. I'm with you though. Val Kilmer is definitely missing from this. Aaron, any rebuttal on the Thor?
No, I just picked Dolph Lundgren because it would have been funny if he was Thor. So I'm
Yeah.
good.
Aaron, what's your least favorite choice on the list?
Probably Alicia
I'm
Silverstone.
with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would you have as
She-
Scarlet Witch?
Heather Locklear.
From the 90s.
Heather Locklear.
Guest star.
Oh, yeah, Heather Locklear. There you go.
Courtney
would've-
Cox.
I would
Courtney
have
Cox could have been.
If it was me, I got one. I got one for Scarlet Witch. I'd had Nicole Kidman
yeah.
Yeah.
because she was awesome and many different ways in the Batman movie.
Yes.
Where she was, I don't know, Bloomy McCoy, whatever her name was. I can't remember her name.
To censor that, sir.
I said Bloomy.
I know what you said. You just said.
There was nothing meant by that.
Well, let's keep going. Hey, Brian, what is
I
your
can't clean this up.
Aaron can't get hold of himself.
dumpster fire, Brian?
Yeah.
It is not a dumpster fire.
For me, it is Mantis.
I'm with you there too.
I would have put Liv Tyler there.
Ooh.
But she would have been a little young for that.
choice.
Yeah, well, but
Empire Records was mid-90s.
it's true.
Oh, I love Empire Records.
That is true. Yeah.
And
Such
the other one I
a
thought about
good
was
movie.
Loki, just as complete and utter funniness, Vanilla Ice.
No. Vanilla Ice
All right,
would have been Jeff Goldblum in Ragnarok.
Yes.
He would have been the
Yes.
Grandmaster or
See?
whatever.
See? There you go.
That would have been awesome.
Back to what John was saying earlier.
No, not
no,
back to what
no.
John-
I just
We
have,
moved on past Nicole Kidman.
That's not what I meant.
but
That didn't
but
come
the
out
name
right.
of the
No.
character is Chase Meriden. Chase Meriden. There's
I couldn't remember the name. First thing that popped in my
You
head.
can't-
That.
all right, Tim. What was yours? Did you give yours? I mean, you
No, I haven't.
echoed a lot of ours. But what's yours?
I kind of would.
Chase Meriden.
Aaron's having an asthma attack.
Two of them stick out to me. Maybe not Arnold Schwarzenegger as Drax. I would maybe I think Drax played by a wrestler. Maybe if we could have got some wrestler from the 90s to play Drax.
Big Boss Man.
Hulk Hogan.
Like Conan.
Rowdy Roddy
Andre-
Piper.
Rowdy Piper as Drax. would have been-
you something. He killed my wife and my kid.
Couldn't you see him going? That went right over my head. Or some kind of crazy Drax.
It can't go over my head. I have great reflexes. My Piper impression is terrible, but
was
the
good.
spirit is there.
And the other one, I like Ethan Hawke. I think he would have been good for it, but I don't know if he's good for Vision. Vision strikes me as
if Vision has a real bad attitude and sarcastic about everything.
yeah.
And scrunches his face up all the time.
You know who would have been good as Vision? Would have been
Powers Booth.
Luke.
Natural Born Killers, Woody Harrelson.
I think the silence speaks for
Oh,
itself.
Charlie's thinking about
No,
it.
I mean
Okay, well let's
not natural born killers Woody Harrelson, but Woody Harrelson when he's actually acting in a film that's not
but
garbage.
that look where he's head shades
Yeah,
and all
well.
that. Yeah.
He's a good actor. He's just made a lot of really bad films.
He has.
One of them being there's probably not a movie I hate more than Natural Born Killers. That is,
Right.
The
But
worst film.
I was going off the look.
but yeah, I see
Where
what
he's
you're saying.
bald with the glass and everything. I think Woody Harrelson in that look would have been a good Vision. I think Ethan Hawke deserves to probably be in Avengers somewhere, but
I mean, not that he's better than Joe Pesci, but he could have been Rocket.
Okay,
Raccoon.
well here's one that you think about for Doctor Strange is Pierce Bronson.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
He didn't even make the
Oh,
list.
if my mom's listening to this podcast right now, she just wrecked her car. She's so in love with Pierce Brosnan
So
and
if
it's
we had-
Doctor
if-
Strange.
Everybody's
if we
mom
have
was
to
in love with
place-
Pierce Brosnan.
Well,
when,
he's got the British, he's got the
Remington
suave.
Wait a minute. If we have to
Remington
replace,
Steele.
if we have to replace Joe Pesci, wouldn't it be Danny DeVito?
Not after the penguin, man.
Wah, wah, wah.
Here's a button.
I mean, that's
Wait
This
a
is
second.
ridiculous.
Where's,
and back then,
go ahead, Aaron.
back then they didn't have CGI, so they would have been in a costume. So picture
Yes.
Danny DeVito a raccoon outfit.
This is the Brandon Fraser I know.
Don't you do it.
There's the Brandon Fraser I know.
Stop it. That's present day, Brendan. It's Brendan. But wait a second.
He called him
Wait a
Brundon a
second.
minute ago.
Where,
Brandon Feinstein.
Where is Jim Carrey?
that was on my list.
He's playing the
Aaron?
Riddler.
Aaron, who would you have Jim
Have
Carrey
you notice
play?
we have an entire Batman
Loki?
freeze out on this? There's nobody from Batman on there.
Jim Carrey,
Well, Alicia Silverstone.
Jim Carrey as Loki would be good.
90s Jim Carrey as Loki, yes, because
Yeah.
basically that's who he played in The Mask. So
Well, and the Riddler.
yeah,
I mean,
the
in
Riddler was a
that movie
disaster.
with
I just now
Nicole Kidman.
I can't. It makes me so happy to think of Dolph Lundgren and Jim Carrey doing "Please Get Help."
I'm wondering just
Still the greatest.
go on, little please get help.
All right, so here's some of the ones that I listed that was missing from it. Sylvester Stallone as the Punisher.
I mean, as a '90s choice, that would be straight up like a '90s.
Yeah, but are we talking Avengers here?
Well, I mean, a couple of
We're
these
going,
aren't on.
John. We've just gone full.
we're going Aaron. We're
Oh,
going.
man, I don't
Yeah,
have
it's
the
fine.
music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now go.
So
go
here-
ahead. I disagree with that, but go ahead.
Most people don't know this, but in the 90s, Nick Fury was a white guy. So I have Robert Stack as Nick Fury from Unsolved Mysteries.
Or it could be David Hasselhoff who played him in the Sci-Fi Channel original film.
Oh, speaking of
It had to
Sylvester
been Tommy Lee
Stallone,
Jones.
Robert Stack only had
thinking Tommy
four.
Lee Jones.
Oh my
Robert Stack only had
dude.
4 points of articulation in his
I
entire
have
life.
nightmares about Robert
How
Stack.
could you possibly
That
put
was
him
By
in
the
an
way,
Avenger
scariest
movie?
thing. Kids don't even know what
Drax,
it is.
Sylvester Stallone as Drax would have been good too. I think so.
Or the voice of Groot.
Ooh, was the voice of yes.
I'm Groot.
I
am
Groot. That's perfect. Okay,
I
sorry.
am Groot.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, and then for Ant-Man, I have Martin Short.
Short. No, Martin Short would be Douglas from the movie. He'd be the one teaching him how to be Ant-Man. He'd be,
Okay,
he'd
yeah.
be Hank
He'd be
Pym.
the original.
Martin
yeah,
Short.
the original.
Martin Short would be Hank Pym.
He'd be doing things.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up, Martin Short.
With his hair like Ed Grimley or whatever it was.
I must say.
I must say. Don't.
And then
Don't.
lastly, this is
Don't. I will not sleep tonight with unsolved
That was the
mysteries.
worst. That was the
Man
worst.
is-
Update.
man is
You
murdered.
in Jacksonville, Florida, on Mandarin, on Scrimshaw Boulevard. I live on Scrimshaw Boulevard. Last scene was this
He's
child
looking in
murderer.
your window
He
right
only-
now.
And he only murdered people by the name of Tim. Mom, check the doors. Rabbits. As always, update on your streets in your
Right.
town.
We're right outside your bedroom window.
Tap, tap, tap.
Aaron, you got any
Oh
more
my gosh,
on
I'm
your
dying.
list of missing 90s people from this list?
the last one I had. It's not really an Avenger, but as Franklin Richards, the son of Reed Richards, I had Macaulay Culkin.
Why? Just so you can put Macaulay Culkin in there
You
somewhere?
have gone
Yeah, that's the only one I could
full.
think of that he could play. So
You never go full Aaron.
I mean, no, Macaulay Culkin could have just been some random kid that was like, I love you, Captain America.
He could
I
have
thought
played.
maybe
He
he could
would have
be
ended up
Bucky
being
or
Spider-Man.
something.
He could have played the. He could have played the kid in the third Iron Man movie
That you hate.
that I despise. Oh, excuse me.
You know who's missing from this list, Charlie?
I'm going to be in
Ben
the toilet.
Kingsley
I'm
as
in
the
loo.
Mandarin.
Yeah.
John just had like a spasm.
I took
All right.
the greatest Iron Man character of all
All
time
right, let's move on.
Now we're going full John.
and turn him
No,
into
No,
no.
we went
Some-
full. We went full John earlier.
Yeah. What
turn
was her
him
name again?
Chase Merrington.
John was watching a different version of that movie.